if we told AI to come in and streamline Sightbox, it would take us more time to explain what Sightbox is doing than it would be to just have someone else do it. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot of time and effort to go through your SOPs.
11 Labs just launched their image and video feature, which if you look at it here, looks a lot like Cascade.
Yes.
Which is what we designed out for Cascade. Big news today is actually about Google launching their Gemini 3 today. Yeah, so here's prompt-driven AI.
Prompt-driven AI, yeah.
Code is disposable.
Yeah.
And so the idea behind Hancock is that you can send a mini contract like a Venmo request.
Yeah. Sightbox unboxed, now we open the door.
We're live. Welcome to the BOXPOD, the BOXPOD. I'm Charlie.
I'm Nathan.
And we're back at you with another AI episode.
Thrilling.
Fingers are all here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all
real life.
Real.
IRL.
Yep. No slop. But dude, we just got back from SF.
Yeah.
How do you think that went?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Loved
cool,
it.
Right?
Loved it.
Yeah, we did a little thing called Flowriders. I think it's a little bit of an insider group.
Oh, yeah.
VCs.
Total insider group.
But each VC that came got to sponsor a startup.
Mm-hmm.
And so a founder came and they each had 10 minutes. So it was a pretty decent pitch from what we're used to. You know,
yeah.
Quick 30-second, 1 minute.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute pitch and then like 5-minute plus
Q&A. Yeah. And probably, there was probably 7 or 8, right?
Yeah, I'd say about
solid ones.
Yeah.
But it was cool because we got to start off the night by pitching ourselves, which we typically never get mic time at these things. Mm-hmm. We were co-hosting the event with our buddy Jeremiah, and it was cool. I even liked the way you sort of presented us.
Yeah.
Kind of a different way, right?
Pitched us as the failed tap that app.
The failed founders.
Well, founders who've seen the light.
Yeah.
And then, realize what they're good at and what they're not. And so, but the power of that, what we have, what we know how to do, which is to be seen and get people to take notice. So that was sort of our shtick in the beginning, to introduce ourselves. It worked out pretty good. Got a couple of chuckles and, Yeah,
I liked it.
And we even got some shout outs during some of the presentations that weren't looking up to the level. So
kind of like, we're going to call you.
Yeah, we need to call these guys.
After this.
Yep.
And so that was always fun. So there was all this, some chatter about how SF has been somewhat cleaned up.
Yes.
Since this new mayor came in.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, just from the ride, I mean, we did go to lunch.
Yeah.
I don't know where we were, what area. We were pretty close to, dude, I'm not going to pretend to know where we were, but we could see the bay from kind of where we were. I think it was probably a mile away. But typically, any random area we've been to in the last 2-3 years, there's always, it's dirty or there's homeless or druggies out there. It's definitely gone downhill.
Right.
And it did seem a little bit more normal than usual.
Mm-hmm.
It did seem clean. I didn't see any feces this time.
No.
Which is that's a step up. But yeah, I mean, the second we got to the event, right, Jeremiah was like, hey, did you notice anything? Like, it's cleaned up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it has. And I think it's a good thing for the city, especially given that everything's kind of centered there, all this technology and AI. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, it was cool.
Felt safe.
And I felt like the city just has a nice vibe to it right now. We
were in our Waymo,
Yeah. People were friendly.
Yeah.
We just hung out. It didn't feel weird or anything.
Yeah, it was one of the better trips, I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But yeah, it was great to see. What was kind of your standout startup?
There were a couple. There was some really interesting one that does they do mixing and fabricating of solutions. Remember that one?
Yeah, they're like batches.
Batches,
Right.
right? Does batching, like, but in small, like the machine's like about the size of a car, maybe less, and then essentially you can put it anywhere and do smaller batch mixtures of products. I thought that was really cool. There was one other one I remember.
And the founder did say that it's trending now, right?
Yeah,
Big brands
yeah,
want the technology to be able to small batch things so that they can be
more
tested and
boutique-y.
see.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
exactly. And then, dang, what was that one? And I think shoot. Oh, this one blew my mind, and it still blows my mind. So one of the things that a lot of companies promise with AI, or they want AI to do is optimize the company, right?
Mhm.
Like come in here and make things run better. But one of the things that typically happens though is you realize like nobody really knows what is actually happening. Like if we told AI to come in and streamline Sightbox, it would take us more time to explain what Sightbox is doing than it would be to just have someone else do it. You know what I mean? Like it takes a lot of time and effort to go through your SOPs. Anyway, what this company had done is, and they had tried that. They had tried to sort of optimize SOPs, and they said, this is pointless. And it turned them into another solution, which was basically they put on this thing where it watches your employees on their computer.
Big brother.
Kind of big brothery. But it takes a screenshot, like I forget exactly how often, but pretty much like every other second or so. It's just recording your screen. And it's not recording it like in a security situation where it's like, oh, you're doing something you shouldn't. It's learning what you are doing. What is your job? What is it that you do? And then it is able to sort of go, okay, well, this person is doing X, Y, and Z, and then this person's doing X, Y, and Z. And it sort of overlooks and says, okay, well, here's what's the process. Here's actually what the process is, and here's how we can make it better. And so from my perspective, I'm like, that is the problem all these companies are really having is they can't, no one knows, no one really, they act like there's a rule book or there's a, as if these companies have a standard operating procedures for everything. They don't. Let's not kid ourselves. They don't. So what this does is it just cuts the need for that out. You could actually probably, after all that, generate one to try to follow. But if you imagine this thing just constantly monitoring and improving those workflows, it's huge. I can't imagine companies not benefiting from that.
Yeah, imagine your org is hundreds or thousands of employees. And, it's like the Bobs. What do you do?
What do you do? Right, exactly. It's kind of like having Bobs, like sort of, but not because your job's on the line, but they're like, how can we make what you do more efficient?
More efficient, yeah.
Right? And so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
That one made me sit up straight like multiple times where I'm like, okay, that's huge. So what I thought was interesting too with these startups, one thing, they were much more mature than the typical early stage stuff that we see. So these were ideas that you were like, okay, that really fits. Like that's a product that's doing the thing. And second, all of them had open rounds that were about to close. And so all these founders they already had a, they already had a lead agency or a lead funder. So they're just looking for, that's the whole thing of the Flowriders is jump on this deal flow with us and help us close the round. And so even from a pitch perspective, it was low stakes. It was like, hey, we're going to reach our goal anyway. Y'all want in, like anyone, before the preferred round ends, we can cut you in. So the atmosphere is real sort of, it was nice. It was casual, but it was, everyone sort of knew. There wasn't a sense like, do I have to really prove myself? No. Everyone had, like, the money had already, like, everyone's validated.
Yeah.
It was just, are we a good fit? You know, is there anything else you want to know before you write a check?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and so that's really a cool room to be in, because typically we're on the far other side of this thing where it's like, you know, a hope and a prayer. You know, it's like American Idol style, like first time at the mic. Like, they don't know what the chances of being found or getting a buck even feels like, you know? And so this is a very different sort of vibe.
Yeah. So Cascade came in and said, we want to compete with generative AI. And they were just using off-the-shelf models to generate images.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the early days of Midjourney, when we were still rendering images in Discord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were doing it on the web.
Yeah.
And so, but we saw it. We said, Midjourney is literally going to do this any second. Any day now, you're going to wake up and there it's going to be Midjourney on the web, not in Discord. And so then you're done. So why compete? And so then we pivoted them, right, into a stock, generative AI stock site, which we said, why don't we use the library of images that you have already generated and then use those in a search format and make the look and feel, the UX of your platform feel like a stock site, which we were just weaning ourselves at the time, right, off of stock sites because Midjourney was getting so good. And so they agreed, with our thesis, and we pivoted Cascade to be a stock, sort of a stock first platform when no one was doing it, right? And so the problem was just the execution in it. We struggled with the execution.
And he didn't have a lot of money to burn either.
Right. Now that too. He had no funding.
Yeah. And so feeding it, even when we said, hey, run this thing, like, he had to wait for people to spend their money.
Yeah.
To generate the images.
Correct.
For most of it. So
anyway, all that to say, 11 Labs just launched their image and video feature, which if you look at it here, looks a lot like Cascade.
Yes.
Which is what we designed out for Cascade. And obviously you'll see here at the bottom that they still have a prompt. So they still want you to generate images.
Right.
But that's what feeds the library. And you can turn this on or off. You can say, I don't want you to use it. Keep my stuff private. But this is really what feeds it. But if you look here, there's a search bar. And you can literally search anything. And they still don't have a ton of stuff. I mean, I put in coffee and I don't even see one coffee in here.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Which means no one's generated coffee, maybe?
Right. But that's exactly how Cascade was.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it would look when you typed in something. But it would also generate images. It'd be like, coffee. Oh, here's what everyone generated for coffee so far. And here's the prompt.
Yeah.
Here's some images of coffee based on your search query, not necessarily a prompt. And so, yeah, the idea really was sort of like switching the prompting with searching and searching with prompting. Yeah. And so, and the idea too is that we were going after people who didn't understand prompting yet, right? And so the idea was, don't be intimidated by the prompt. You've kind of been prompting with your search queries. So make it started out as a search and then turn it into a prompt.
Right.
And there was and that Cascade thing too, which we started getting into, was you'd select one image and then it would sort of start to think of like what you could possibly want next. And so you could be like, okay, I like this part of the image. And then it would say, okay, this. And then, so you actually wouldn't have to be prompting as much. You would just sort of go from picture to picture to picture, version to version to version, and sort of get better that way, which was something that, like, at the time, Midjourney really wasn't good at. You couldn't really be like, reference this image to create the next one. And so for us, it was sort of like a new idea. Now you're starting to see it sort of take off a bit more, but
I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of these platforms that want to be all of it, like centralize everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love 11 Labs for the voices, which is what their core product was initially.
Yes.
I'd use sound effects a little bit, not a ton. The text to speech is cool. We have it embedded into our blog on our website right now. Solid feature. The music, not so much, because Suno is just so awesome.
Yeah.
And so I look at this and I'm like, Midjourney is leaps ahead of this. And so either, I don't know, maybe there is a market for people that want everything kind of here or don't want to pay for multiple things, maybe. But I just don't quite see it yet here. And you could totally tell if you look at some of these images too. It's like when like 50% of them look fake or like AI generated, I feel like that's their little, like they got work to do on their model. And then you see the stuff that Midjourney creates and it's so photorealistic that in most cases you can't even tell the difference between real and not real.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And so anyways, that's my opinion on it. But the big news today is actually about Google launching their Gemini 3 today. Here's just a few seconds about that here. I'm screen share.
Build apps with a single prompt. Get inspired.
So apparently it vibe codes better than any vibe coder.
Refine.
Apparently their image generation is way better than
And
version
refine
2.
some more.
And their video generation. Basically everything.
Share with a friend. And remix.
Well,
Then share with
Publish
the
your
world.
app. There you go.
Bring anything to life.
Google AI Studio. Okay. Vibe coding with Gemini 3. But there's a lot of posts about kind of the big features around.
yeah, I noticed
That's great.
my browser updated and now I have a Chrome
Oh, really?
button, Gemini button actually, in the browser.
Our most anticipated launch of the year is here. Gemini 3, our most intelligent model. Generative interfaces or perfectly designed responses. Gemini agent made to complete complex tasks on your behalf. See how Gemini 3 can help you learn, build, and plan anything. Interesting. I don't know. I've never used Gemini. I've never used it.
You never have.
No, other than some Google searches,
Yeah.
and I'll, now it takes over the top, the search results. ChatGPT has just gotten so good, and we fed it kind of all our stuff,
Yeah.
right, as a knowledge base.
Yeah, and it keeps, I don't know, man, like we've just been using it this last week, 5.1 is just, I don't know what polish they gave to it, but I'm just reading through like everything it gives me. I'm just like, it just feels more considered and easier to read. And maybe that's, they took some of the Claude magic, but like I just feel like I'm reading something. Just, it's easier to follow through. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really good stuff. But yeah, we'll see how
I'm
Gemini
gonna
does.
play around with vibe coding just to see.
Yeah.
Just kind of to see. But I'm curious to see. I haven't seen anyone successfully launch a native app.
Yeah.
Vibe coding.
No.
I just haven't seen it.
Well, we've been saying it's mostly like for MVP stuff. I would probably, there's that one startup that presented, that we've been, looking at, which is the prompt as the program.
Yes.
Remember that
Prompt driven.
Prompt driven.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because I think that was really interesting.
So I think, hope I don't describe it incorrectly, but I think what they were building is, so basically what they were saying is that when you vibe code and you make changes to it, it only goes, or if there's a bug, it goes and it tries to repair the bug in that one place.
Right. That
Right.
one section of code.
That one section of code or place where it thinks, or it knows that it screwed something up. And the issue with doing that is inevitably you'll break something else at some point. And then all of a sudden you're putting Band-Aids
Yeah.
everywhere, you know? It's like getting the gum and trying to, you know, patch the wound
Yeah.
coming out. And I think what their deal is when you try to make changes or correct something, it rewrites the whole thing.
And it sort of it incorporates what your response is into a master prompt.
Yeah.
So what you're really doing over time is building one big prompt that then generates one big
Output.
output of code.
Uh-huh.
And so it's not like, okay, well, this part came from this prompt and this part came from this prompt, and hopefully they work together. It's just like it all runs.
Yeah.
Which is really smart.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we see the benefits of that. Like that's like going into Midjourney and doing some editing and gets all wonky, or Photoshop can't understand what you're trying to do. Suno, the same thing. Like you tell it, hey, I want a different bridge. Forget it. I don't even do that anymore. I just rerun it because I'm like, it's impossible. It doesn't get that right. Just give me a cover of it. You know, start and finish.
Yeah.
So I think but it's also interesting too, because I think it points to this other idea of at some point, the code is going to be irrelevant, because all you're really going to be doing is focusing on what's that prompt, right? And that prompt is going to be like, imagine that prompt being pages long, right? Of everything the application does, right? Like it was if you were going to write it, you know, word for word, what Asana does, right? In each situation. That's what the code is going to be. And then you're going to be like, all right, generate that. And then you're going to be like, I don't care what language you use. I don't care how you do it. Just do it so it works. And I have a feeling that at some point, the AI is just going to be like, do you want me to use my own language? I can do it half the time. You know, you won't be able to read it. You can't change it, but you can't change it anyway, because that's, you know, we've already established that breaks the apps anyway.
Yeah. So here's prompt-driven AI.
Prompt-driven AI. Yeah.
Code is disposable.
Yeah.
PDD, prompt-driven development, is a paradigm shift that addresses a critical maintenance burden in software. By elevating prompts to be the primary source of truth, PDD enables you to regenerate code, keeping it clean, consistent, and aligned with your evolving requirements.
Yeah.
And we met this founder. So Greg.
Yeah.
And he's a brilliant guy. Like the guy
you can just tell.
The guy could be, if he wanted, he'd make $1 million a year at one of these big.
Yeah, he's one of those AI guys that Zuckerberg just threw money at, you know, it's crazy amounts, like an NBA player.
Yeah, and he was doing what he calls migrations, right? And he was consulting. And then he realized, why don't I just build a product out of this? And that's what he's doing. Reluctantly, it seemed that way. But, you know, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, why is he doing it the hard way?
Yeah, and there's some diagrams here about how he's doing it. Like, this is a little bit over my head.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea of it makes a lot of sense. Because we've talked about this in the past, right? Where people talk about how they vibe code something and they try to make it production ready, and they actually go and put something in the market that's vibe coded and then start getting users and then realize that it doesn't scale. And then what do they end up doing? Inevitably bring in an engineer,
start over,
says, this is no good. I gotta
burn it. Yeah, toss that.
Yeah.
I got to start with nothing, blank.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've been there. Not the vibe coding piece, but it's been worse for us.
Oh,
We've got from an engineer build something to a certain point.
yes.
You bring in another engineer and he says, we have to redo that.
Oh, dude. Every time.
Right?
Every time,
Yeah,
bro.
never fails. Speaking
Never
of
fails. Speaking of tap that.
yeah, if you're out there, David, you owe us 20 G's or whatever. Remember that guy delivered nothing.
Oh, it kills me.
Delivered absolutely nothing. Took our money and delivered nothing. Damn. Anyways. So that's why this vibe coding excites me, because we can prototype ideas, right, that we've had in our mind for years. Try and validate them, right? Like the Hancock thing, which I can show a quick demo of.
Dude,
right?
definitely show us a demo of that.
Because you saw I send it over to our Ben.
Yeah, I saw that.
We kind of crapped on it a little bit.
Hey, you know what?
It was more like why, right?
Yeah, it was good feedback.
And it's great feedback. But imagine years ago, we would have spent money getting to this point
Bucks.
just for someone to tell us,
Bucks.
right? Why?
Yeah.
And so that's the difference here.
Yes.
So here's Hancock
And
.xyz
Right.
without minus the K, Hancock, HANCOC. And this idea we've had for, 7 years, something like that, like forever. And the idea is very simple. It's always been around this concept of digital signatures and standardizing the way we do it.
right.
Because we have kids, and how many times have you had to sign something online, for the school or whatever, and then you got your stupid trackpad or your mouse to do that? Or something as simple as signing a DocuSign, but you're on your phone and not on your computer.
Right.
Now you got to all of a sudden figure out where's my signature, or just use a digital stamp. And I get the fact that this stuff is legally binding. And that was some of the critique we got is, well, that stuff holds up in court. So why do you need to develop a new way
Right.
to do this? Right. And so for me, it was like, well, there's something bigger here, and it might be the mini contracts, right? Which is, most people, average Joe, does not know what a DocuSign is. Maybe they've seen it once or twice in their adult life, but that's not a normal thing that people do.
No.
And
And
so-
DocuSign's expensive. Like,
Yeah, it's not free, right?
yeah. Like, they know.
Yeah. And so the idea behind Hancock is that you can send a mini contract, like a Venmo request or Cash App request. Just, hey, we're agreeing to this thing, whether it's money's related or involved or not. Cool. Sign here, done. But our thing has facial tracking. So it's using the front-facing camera while you sign. You sign with your finger. It timestamps and geolocation stamps your signature. And then it creates like they call a hash, which we could put on the blockchain, which I guess that's another critique we got. Why it doesn't need to be on the blockchain, but I say, why not?
I say, yeah. Why doesn't it?
Why not? And so we vibe coded this whole thing,
Yeah.
minus the branding. Obviously, we did that. We've had that branding for a while now. But here's like a sample contract for a $500 loan, right? And so like, here's Alex to Jordan, $500, or credit pay, $500, whatever. Sign contract. So you click here. It says, allow Hancock to use your camera. Allow. And then it opens your front-facing camera here. And what you do here is you start recording.
And there you are right there.
It's acting up. There we go.
There it is. Look at that.
Well, there it is. Signature, camera. That work? I screw up my own demo.
I mean, it's there.
I think because I'm doing it on the iPad, it's a little different.
All right.
Anyways, rotate phone. Sorry, guys. You can cut this out if you want, Zach. Stop.
Don't cut it out.
Don't cut it out.
This is real life.
Failed demo. This is real life. It works on the mobile phone.
Yeah, it works great.
So what it does is then it creates a timestamp, and I can show you what that looks
An
like.
actual
Here.
video. Yeah.
And so this would be your contract here. And then you'd have your video here with your signature, timestamp, location verified, verification hash. And so, and if you wanted to create a new contract, you would just say, is this an IOU, loan agreement? Or if you just want to go back to my place.
Bet or all right, custom or bet or wager.
Yeah, wager. So we're coming back to my place. Your place. We're both agreeing to this. Sure. Okay. Here you go. I'm gonna send this to you, and then, right, you get the idea. And then you just sign it. There it is. And we see a day where maybe you can create a Hancock embed button to any app that requires signatures from people. So it becomes a standard, and then you can have them all in one. Think about logging into your portal, and you can, like you do in DocuSign, except DocuSign is business. You know, it feels very businessy.
Well, yeah, and like we were saying too, all you do is like, it's surprising how lenient all of that has really become.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is type in your name, and then it's like a stamp.
Yeah.
Like there's no there's no like chain of custody.
Yeah.
Like that's
And what are you
actually
gonna do
me typing my
when
name.
agents or bots try to fake? You know what I mean?
I agree, man.
Like that could happen
yeah.
tomorrow. You know, so if you're asking me why blockchain, why the extra step,
Why a face? Why a camera?
exactly.
Why a signature on top of the camera? Right?
It's because there's going to be a day where you're going to be like, what's this on my credit report? Or what is this thing I agreed to? You're like, you signed it. You're like, the hell I did.
No,
Show
I
me
didn't prove it.
Well, I don't have it. It's a timestamp on a PDF on my computer from my IP address. Well, my damn robot, my damn agent did that.
Yeah, or someone else.
I didn't agree to that.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
And so it adds a layer of human to it,
Yes.
which is a nice closer
All right.
to this episode. Tell us about human to human.
So we've been thinking a little bit today about sort of where Sightbox is headed. And idea kind of came to us today is this idea of human to human. We've done really great with B2B. You want to get into more B2C, but really it's H to H where we want to head, human to human. And it's the idea is that, you know, with the proliferation of AI, there's going to be this sort of, you know, a sense that as we see it, we call it sort of the industrial revolution of marketing. Like just like just like industrial revolution brought out mass produced products, AI is going to create mass produced marketing. So it's going to be everywhere. Everyone is going to be able to do crazy marketing campaigns and whatnot. And it's going to create this sort of oversupply of that. What we sort of think is going to sort of happen is that we call it slop. That's really the term everyone's using right now is AI slop. It's going to create a lot of work that sort of looks like it means something, but doesn't have anything behind it. And so our sort of answer to that is this idea of being more human, right? Really connecting to what makes us human, you know, stories, trying to be better people, right? Trying to, you know, be inspiring to each other and inspire one another. So I think a lot of what we're sort of looking for is sort of seeking a little bit of a higher ground, a higher purpose for what we're doing outside of just using these tools. Because I think the you know, for us, the commoditization of our market, of our industry is just coming hot and heavy. And we know we need to sort of stand for something, not only outside of that, but in our opinion, almost like as the antidote to it. So it's a big opportunity for us, I think, and a big,
Yeah, I agree with
a
that.
big, and it aligns with our values, it aligns with our interests, it aligns with our skills, it aligns with all of our IP that we've created, it aligns with our clients. So it's for us, this sort of thing really hits a lot of what we're hoping to do as an agency in the future. So it's good.
Love it.
Big stuff. Human to human, H2H.
H2H. Sounds like what was that? HGH?
Yeah. Human growth hormones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get you a little
We're going to get yoked.
natty. All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later.
See ya.
Peace.
Sightbox, unbox, now we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tapping AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.